Good news, everyone! I'm no longer demonetized. I tried a handful of things that I believed would work, and either one of those things did work or some ambiguous combination of all of them worked. I'll honestly never know. Just to catch everyone up to speed as quickly as possible, I got an email from YouTube on April 25th of this year, 2026, saying that I was demonetized and no longer able to collect any sort of revenue on the YouTube platform. I submitted an appeal video that was never watched and was promptly denied. I was then, on 3 different occasions, reached out to by YT Creator Support via an email that said something along the lines of, "Hey, we know this is a shocking blow to you and your family. I'm going to work on escalating your appeal to get it re-reviewed." And each of the 3 times that I got this unsolicited email from 3 different individuals, mind you, 24 hours later, I would get another one from them saying that I was still denied. So the gut punch was clear. YouTube stripped away all of my abilities to earn any sort of revenue, and I had to wait 90 days to make some changes and then reapply. So I started theorizing with some other creators, and I came to the conclusion that if I'm going to reapply in 90 days, I'll need a much more balanced catalog, because in YouTube's eyes, my current content was poison. It was dirty, and I had about 250 videos of what they called inauthentic content. I couldn't logically assume that if I made even 1 video a week in a new format for 90 days, which would be 12 videos by the end of the 90 days, that I would get approved to rejoin the YouTube Partner Program, or YPP as it's called, and continue to earn revenue. That would realistically give me 262 videos on my channel, which, if my math is correct, 5% of those videos would be in the new format, and I did not like those odds. So one of the things that I started doing outside of just being on camera and telling different kinds of stories in this new format was to private about half of my catalog. I did it manually, and it took close to 2 weeks for me to do that to over 100 videos, because I was doing it in my free time and on lunch breaks and stuff. And thank goodness that I still have a day job, man, because the goal has always been to do this well enough to quit my day job and then to have this be my main source of income. And I was getting pretty dang close. Boy, howdy. I don't even want to imagine anymore, dude. In fact, I don't have to imagine, because some of the narrators that got hit with this inauthentic demonetization wave were doing this full time as their primary source of income. And for now, or maybe never again, they can't. It is truly heartbreaking. If you're sitting there watching this stunned that YouTube could pull off this monumental rug pull and you want to do something about it, there is something that you can do. And it doesn't involve you pledging any amount of money to anybody's Patreon or whatever. Which, by the way, I will be reactivating my Patreon later, but that's a topic for a different video. I will come back to what might be the most effective thing that you, as the listener, can do to help and really make a sincere and concerted effort to stop these demonetizations from happening and to get creators reinstated into YPP. But for now, there is some good news. In about 35 days into my 90-day probation or waiting period or whatever you want to call it, I get a push notification from YouTube. It looks like a text message. It says, "Your memberships are active. Set them up." Now, memberships are a monetary aspect of YouTube. And if I'm demonetized, then why am I getting this push notification from YouTube telling me to set up my memberships? So I get into the YouTube Creator app and I refresh it, and lo and behold, it looks like I'm back in. I'm reinstated. There's just no fanfare or anything. There's no confetti. It's just, hey, your memberships are on. You know what to do. And to be clear, I don't want any fanfare. I just think it was weird how subtle and easy to miss this notification was. So I start texting the homies, letting everybody know that I'm back in. Great, right? I get the official email from YouTube the next day telling me what I already knew, letting me know that I'm 100% reinstated into YPP. And then I actually email them back asking for literally any amount of transparency. I tell them what I told you here about the varying content, the format change, the privating of half of my catalog. And also in the background of all of this too, there was a larger creator who I won't name or speak on the status of their monetization, but they reached out to their internal YouTube rep. And if you don't know, if you get large enough on YouTube, you get assigned a personal rep that you can reach out to for questions or to get help with something technical on your channel. They're just a single responsive point of contact that you can tag in when you need something looked at. And this larger creator emailed their rep and tagged a handful of demonetized creators and very politely asked their rep to look into this and to give any sort of guidance or help if possible. I'm so grateful for this larger creator, man. They did not have to do this, but they chose to, and I'll just leave it at that. Anyways, I emailed YouTube letting them know that all of these things were being done differently and to try to pinpoint what was the most helpful thing that I did. Mostly so that I can keep doing it and so I can tell my fellow demonetized creators what worked for me. It's been 6 days and I still don't have a reply to that email, so I'm not counting on getting one. Also, if you're bummed about me privating half of my back catalog, I understand, but please don't be. As of now, every single episode that I've ever released on YouTube is also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, including a couple of podcast-exclusive episodes as well, I'm pretty sure. Please listen to and watch me on Spotify/Apple if you can. As grateful as I am to be back in YPP, there are dozens or maybe even hundreds of other human narrators that were doing the exact same thing as me that are still demonetized. And believe it or not, we are being coached to, quote, make noise on Twitter or X to rally together to get the attention of YouTube in a way that they'll actually hear and respond to us. Here's how you can help. There's a tweet that is speaking to YouTube directly on X right now that you can go to and reply to and share. We have good reason to believe that if enough buzz is generated from this tweet and is shared at scale with your help, it'll benefit just about every narrator and the entire families of these narrators that are currently suffering from this demonetization wave. I was one of them just a week ago. Me and my family had to come to the reality of no YouTube income for the foreseeable future. Again, I'm no longer fighting for myself here because I'm reinstated, but that doesn't mean the fight is over. Even if you don't have an X account, just creating one so that you can go and like and share and reply to this specific tweet that's linked in my description, with your support, man, that is going to be worth it. Okay, see you soon.